Good morning, everybody. It's time to make shift happen on wildfireradio.com. Get ready to shift your perspective on life, people, and the world we live in. And here to help you do that is your host, Fran Holinda.
Good morning, shifters. I'm Fran Holinda, and it's time to make shift happen on wildfireradio.com. And today, according to my Alexa, my new very best friend, today is National Relaxation Day. So to help me relax today, because I'm very calm and very relaxed today, I have in studio Joel Dougherty. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Fran. And I'll tell you, I am here because last Wednesday night, I survived my first session doing CrossFit with my good friend Shanna.
Well, we're going to talk about that in a moment. I want to say good morning to Marcus. Good morning.
Hello. How are you today?
And I would like a shout out to Rakesh from Raise Solutions. We are being videotaped today, so be on your best behavior. No picking your nose.
Oh, I got to do my hair and fix my
I know.
shirt.
I got
now.
bangs, and I got bangs, and I got bangs and everything.
That
just for
doesn't
today.
apply to me, right?
What, the picking your nose? No,
Yeah.
Nobody can see you. You're
Cool.
fine. You're
Thanks.
fine. So, okay. So you survived. You're not in
Yes.
traction. I don't see any bandages. I don't see any casts or crutches with you today. Tell
Well,
us
you
the
know,
story.
you're always nervous about trying something new.
Nah.
Well, that's how I felt going in. Uh-huh. And it's very intense. But the first session, you're having a coach work with you one-on-one.
Well, first of all, they call them a box. You're going to a box, right? That's how Melissa referred to a CrossFit gym, as a box.
Well,
that would scare me to just say, come to the box.
Well,
I mean,
you know, it's not like a traditional gym because they don't have all the distractions. There's no HD TVs.
Yeah.
You know, there's no spa.
there's just
no
oxygen,
juice bar.
the defibrillators there.
And one thing Shanna told me was that, you know, look around. There's no mirrors because they don't want you to judge
Thank
yourself for anything.
God.
Oh, my God. Perfect for you, Fran.
No, that would never work for me. I need to see
yeah.
the mirrors. I need to make sure that my bangs, my brand new bangs, are perfect. No, I'm kidding.
Because it's really just the basics. It's just, you know.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's free coffee, free water, which I love.
Coffee. Oh, that's the pre-workout, the coffee?
Yeah, and the water, too. And there's a shower in the bathroom for afterwards.
So you can go and turn on the water
they take
and
care
cry.
Of everything, yeah. But what surprised me was that when the hour is over, I was so exhausted. But I recovered very quickly because Shannon and I just, you know, talked and reminisced for a little bit. And then the endorphins start to kick in, and you're thinking, yeah, baby, this is worth it now. Oh, man, I'm loving this.
Were you hungry? Like, you know, a lot of people say after they exercise, they're like starving. Did you like feel this need to eat?
You know what? All I needed was a pool because I just wanted to jump right in because part of the workout of the day,
right, that's the WOD.
yes, was
Which
3
is a very
sessions
strange
of,
thing for me.
you know, you do 500 meters on the rowing machine.
Okay,
And then you go outside and you jog for 400 meters.
there you go.
You come in and you take a break. And that's round 1. And you do that 2 more times.
I think this should have been videoed. I would have loved to
Yeah.
see this on the air. This would be great.
And my friend tells me, you know, watch out for the people jogging when you first come in.
Well, Joel, I have a little surprise for you. We have a caller today who I think you might be interested in talking to. Hello there.
Hello.
Who might this be on the other end of the phone?
Hi, this is Shanna. How are you?
She's on the air right now.
Surprise, Joel, because Shannon and I have kind of been conspiring behind your back because I want to hear the real story of your first CrossFit experience. How did he do? How did he really do, Shanna? Tell us the truth.
Be nice, Shanna. Come on.
He actually did. He did really well, actually. I knew he was going to do well. He was pretty active in high school. We went to high school together. I know he probably, you know.
He mentioned that. He also mentioned that you saved him from a bully in like 4th grade. But I'm more interested in and knowing how his box jumps were. How did he do on the box jumps?
Well, we didn't do box jumps.
Okay.
The WOD was, but I haven't looked at the WOD because we're gonna go again tomorrow. Yeah, no, he did really well. Matter of fact, I'll be honest, running is not my thing. I don't particularly like running, but you know, in CrossFit, I think that the things that you don't particularly like my thing is not running. My thing is not wall balls. I hate wall balls. But those are the days that you really need to go. try and get better at the things that you don't particularly like.
Don't tell me there's a life lesson in this story.
Of course, absolutely. The days that that's why, I was explaining to Joel that we have a system called Wattify. It's like an app. And you can see kind of like what the workout's going to be of the day prior to you being, showing up.
Oh, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You kind of scare people away. But wait, I want to get back to his experience though. Like, so you said he did well. You knew he was going to do well.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew that he was going to do well. So before the WOD, we did, some weightlifting, what was it, back squats? I think, it was back squats.
Yeah, I had the trainer work with me one-on-one during the strength training.
So there you go.
Yeah,
so you gave him some personalized service, so he felt a little more. Well, you were a beginner, so I would assume that everyone who comes in the first time gets a little extra TLC because form is everything, and if you don't do it right, you're going to get hurt.
Exactly.
Right.
And I remember being on the rowing machine, and Shannon and I are sitting right next to each other, and she's saying, "Joel, come on, put your back a little straighter," and she's coaching me along the way. So thank you, Shanna, for all your help. I really appreciate you getting me through that first session.
Well, he's coming back, so you must have done something right.
Well, and tomorrow night I'm paying for it, Fran. So what does that say?
I think you have a new member.
Yeah.
Worth it. Definitely worth it. I'm glad. Yeah.
Well, my whole feeling was, who better than an RN, to have your first session with in case anything happened to me? She's right there,
She's right
5
there.
feet across from me. So.
Well, that's interesting. So you're a nurse by day, CrossFit owner by evening?
Yeah, well, actually, I'm at work right now.
Oh, there you go. Well, as you heard the show last week, Melissa has her teaching gig during the day and CrossFit by night. So I guess your ultimate goal also probably is to be a full-time instructor, gym owner, whatever, box owner.
A box center. Well, that's how I got into CrossFit, as I met a student, a fellow nursing student. He was actually our first semester in nursing school. He was opening up his own box.
Interesting.
So that's how I kind of got into CrossFit myself, is he was basically letting all of our classmates come and try it out for free. I had never heard of CrossFit before nursing school. So what better way to kind of promote health and fitness to my patients and learn about, exercise and healthy eating, et cetera, and promote that to my patients than to learn it myself and be an example.
Well, I think that's really smart. Well, Melissa's trying to suck me in to come into her place. So probably I used to do I did all kinds of boot camp, all kinds of mud runs and stuff. So I think I am actually. She's again, she's the kind of person like you are. She's going to make sure that everyone who comes into her establishment is safe as they can be, and we'll keep our eye on Joel and make sure he's upright every week.
Well, I survived. I'm still alive. I'm here in the studio.
Yeah.
So,
and he's ready to rock and roll. So I want to thank you very much for calling in and telling us the truth. So I do have to say I believe him now. I guess I believe him. He's a CrossFit expert.
Well, not yet.
Not yet.
Shanna, it was very nice to catch up with you, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow night. All right.
All right. You have a great day.
Tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, Shanna.
You too.
Keep us posted.
All right. Bye.
Take care.
I definitely will.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. See now, so here's the deal. Anything that you say on the radio for all of us to hear, we can find out the answer, just so you know that. So you better make sure that you're accountable for everything you do when you say it on the air.
Well, Frank, when you asked Shanna to come on the show, my first thought was, do you not believe what I said about my experience? I'm a little suspicious about.
I believe you, but I mean, I'm very truthful. When I went back to kickboxing after years of not doing anything like that, I sucked. I was horrible. I was very upset with myself.
Yeah, and by the way, you never got Jean-Claude Van Damme on the show.
I know.
You said he trained you.
He did. He's in retirement. I put him into retirement. It was such a horrible experience for both of us. Michael Bolton will be training me now. That's my.
Oh, you're going to be fierce. You're going to be fierce.
That's my new guy. I'm actually one of my favorite commercials. Did you ever see the Chuck Norris commercial? Right, where the old guys are sitting around and they're like, "Oh, that's Chuck Norris," and he's whatever, and he tosses, the old guy takes this pepper or salt shaker and he throws it at Chuck Norris while he's eating lunch. And
that's hilarious.
Hits a guy in the nose. He's in the emergency room. He's like, "Oh, Chuck Norris did this to me."
No, but I've seen the infomercials he does with Christy Brinkley where they're promoting that.
That's that whole machine thing that I was going to talk about. Anyway, you know what time it is?
What?
It's
what time
time
is it?
to shoot the shift.
My favorite part of the show.
It is my favorite part of the show, and thank goodness I found the gong this week. I was really upset last week. You can't boing shoot the shift.
No,
you have to
no.
gong it.
Yeah.
So, weekend plans? Anything exciting your weekend?
I'll probably be recovering from my,
You're rowing.
my, session tomorrow night. But also, Fran, Thursday night, I am trying something new again. I am going to a yoga class
With
in
goats?
Philadelphia. Yes, actually.
Yoga with goats.
Yes, because I figure what better way to recover from CrossFit than learning how to stretch and move. And I'm probably more nervous about that because I don't know that the body was designed to move.
With goats? Goat. Well, look,
Now,
you have goat
what
cheese.
goats do you know that do
I'm
yoga?
just saying.
Now
We were
you're-
talking about this last week.
Yo-goats.
Go-goats. The go-goats.
Yo-goats.
The go-goats. Yo-go. Yeah. The hoppy goats. The goats that hop. Anyway, there are people who do yoga with goats. I personally do not, do that. I've tried yoga before. Are you
Okay.
are you flexible?
We'll find out. But, now you've got me worried that, it's not going to be just people. showing
No,
up to the
I'm sure this
studio.
particular. Where are you going in Philadelphia?
It's called Bombay Yoga Company.
I don't know. It could be suspicious. Well, we will, if Bombay Yoga Studio is listening, or I will make sure I reach out. I will like a full report on Joel's downward facing dog next week.
Well, I've got the CrossFit tomorrow night, and then yoga on Thursday. So by Friday,
You're gonna mess.
I'm going to need a few drinks.
Yeah.
My goodness.
You're going to be jacked.
It's gonna be a pretzel.
At Bombay Yoga, do you drink gin and do yoga?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think about
That's not
that.
a
That
bad
would be-
idea. I might have to suggest that tomorrow night.
We should go into business together. Gin and yoga. People puking everywhere. It'd be hilarious. We could
Yeah.
tape it, sell it on eBay.
You pay. You pay. I love it. Well, I was thinking of something a little less, something a little more passive. This past weekend,
Okay.
I saw an amazing movie. I wasn't planning on doing any physical activity this particular weekend, to tell you the truth. We went to see this movie. I don't know if you've seen the advertisements for it. It's called The Glass Castle. And it's based on a book, and I have some facts about this book because I just I like to get my facts straight when I'm talking. So The Glass Castle is a 2005 memoir by Jeanette Walls. This book has been on the New York Times bestseller list for a very long time, and it's really about her growing up. It's about her mother, who was this quirky teacher artist, her dad, who's really brilliant, but he's an alcoholic. And so she's got siblings, and they travel. They really were basically homeless for most of their life, really. And they go to all these wonderful places as they're traveling. And in the beginning of the movie, now I know the movie left out a lot. There's a lot more to it than in the book, obviously. So the movie left out an awful lot of facts. But you get the gist that in the beginning, when the children are young, this is an adventure, and they see that it is an adventure. And Woody Harrelson plays the dad, and he plays this character wonderfully. And when he's sober, he's teaching them things and experiences that you would never have in a typical childhood.
Now I know what movie you're talking about. I've seen the preview for
Right,
this.
yeah,
Yes,
Woody
yes,
Harrelson.
okay.
Naomi
All right,
Watts
yes.
is plays
All right.
the mother. Brie Larson, who is fabulous, plays the older Jeanette, and then the younger girl, who's really most of the movie, is also wonderful. So the acting is really wonderful, and it just, I don't know, we saw it Sunday night, and it's really sticking with me for some reason. And now I'm actually very curious to read the book. And as I said, I know that in the book that there's more. It's just a very non-traditional childhood. And the children have, good memories, bad experiences, so many things that stick in their mind. But in the end, it's a story, I guess, of unconditional love, that no matter what happened to them as children, they love their parents. They love and even kind of say, for as traumatic as it was, maybe they wouldn't have really wanted it any other way, because it makes you who you are. So,
Yeah, are you someone who loves a good story, Fran? Because I've noticed that every weekend, or most weekends, you tend to see a movie.
Well, I like it. Well, we like to do different things on the weekends.
Yeah.
I go in phases. Like I'm like in like a movie phase. I have a Count Basie phase coming up. Like I bought tickets to see Chicago, and I bought tickets. You're gonna like this one, Marcus. Jay Leno.
Nice.
In March of like 2018. It takes that long to get.
Oh, yeah.
But he's very funny.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
And I'm very excited to see that. So we go in phases. For a little while, we were doing like the Broadway phase thing, but that gets really expensive going into Broadway. Wait till I do my Philadelphia phase. Then you're really in trouble, because then I'll
just never see Moving Out with Billy Joel, I have to warn you.
That's a
If you-
movie?
No, it's a Broadway show.
Oh.
Because there's
I don't
absolutely
think it's still there.
no...
Is it still there?
No, but I went to see it with my friends once, and I've seen 3 Broadway shows, and this had no dialogue at all.
Oh, it's a musical called a musical
Yeah,
where
it's
they
called
sing.
Moving Out, and there was just people dancing to each one of his songs, and I'm thinking, is
Well,
there
that's
going
like
to be?
Cats.
Yeah, because I've seen The Lion King,
Yeah.
I've seen Les Miserables, and people actually talk.
Right, there's
which I
dialogue.
like. And halfway through the show, I'm thinking, is this all it is? Just people dancing to his songs?
Well,
is this what I came all the way to New York for?
I saw Cats, the remake of
Yeah.
Cats, or the newest version of Cats, and I sat there and I looked at my husband and I went, "It's about cats?" And he's like, "What did you think of it?" Everybody's like, I was supposed to see it 2 times in my earlier years in the original, I guess, showcast or the original production. And once I had the flu, and then the second time, I think the other person had the flu, and we wound up having our time canceled. So this was the 3rd time was the charm, but I did not like it at all. I really didn't, and I was really disappointed in it. But anyway, back to your original statement. I do like a good story, and I like stories of childhood and events and things like that. So we're talking about this very non-traditional childhood. I kind of assume by the way you've spoken that you had a pretty normal childhood, nothing horrible or traumatic. You played sports, you have parents, you have a sister,
Well, I
normal
grew
stuff.
up in a town called Collingswood, which, when I was growing up, it had a Wawa and Yummies on Haddon Ave.
like Mayberry RFD.
It
Is
was
that what
like
you're telling me?
so incredibly boring. We had sports, we had Knights Park. But then the current mayor took over in 1997, and it really showed the impact one person can have, because now Haddon Ave is full of shops and restaurants. And if you come on a Saturday night, you will see people from out of town.
It's happening.
Yeah, going to the restaurants. And I have seen Bentleys and a Rolls Royce parked on Haddon Ave.
It's your
because
kind of
people-
town, Marcus.
Well, the Wildfire used to be in Collingswood, and I miss it. I do.
You said that
So,
actually.
Yeah,
Marcus,
that drag
you know
was
that
awesome.
it's a dry town, which is weird because of how popular it's become.
Right, it's all
you know.
BYOs and things
See,
of
that's
that
my
nature.
that's my favorite actually. I like
Yeah.
that. I enjoy that because alcohol is marked up like 2 to 3 times. If you
Yeah.
get a bottle of wine, it's literally 3 times the price.
But
and
there
let's
are
face it,
there
I
are
know.
restaurants that will say, "Look, if you bring a bottle of wine, we'll put it on ice for you. We'll serve it to you. You can bring it into the restaurant." And actually, there was a place called there was a hair salon that I used to go to, and upstairs they had this Penthouse for Men, and they
I
actually
beg your pardon.
Well,
isn't Penthouse for
not
for
the
men?
magazine Fran,
Oh, yeah.
but they had a tap. They had a tap, and they actually had beer. They had Coke and Pepsi and beer, and they got in trouble so quickly because, Marcus, the rumor was that the Knight family of Knights Park had made a deal with Collingswood that you can use the park for free as long as Collingswood remains a dry town.
I see.
Yeah, I heard something about
Yeah.
that. But there was this loophole that we used to exploit where you could give alcohol away for free to paying customers that paid for something else. So we would have like a keg of beer when we had an event, and people could drink as long as we didn't charge them for
Right,
it.
so you could have right, yeah. Mhm.
Right.
That works
Yeah.
for me.
And now the mayor has come out and said, no, that's just a myth. It's just we have so few liquor licenses that it's hard for us to determine which restaurants would get them. You know
I
what I mean?
see.
Because the rumor was
Rumor has it.
if we were to sell alcohol, then, the mayor and the administration would have to pay to use Knights Park. And Knights Park is what makes Collingswood so great because a lot of local high schools in the area, don't have a park right across from the middle school and the high school. And that's
they get
where
to all
all
you-
the sports take place and that's where all the events take
I
place.
find it hard to believe that in this day and age, and I have to say this, that there actually are still dry towns. Ocean Grove is like that up in my area.
Yeah, Ocean City down this way.
Yeah, and I understand why to some extent. I mean, I guess it makes them feel. I don't know. I think if
Well,
you
they tried to
choose-
pass a law in Ocean City where they could sell alcohol, but the citizens voted against
They
it.
don't want. I guess.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It brings a certain amount of riffraff, doesn't it? More like us, Mark.
Yeah.
It brings people like us.
I don't even go within 20 miles of a dry town.
That's ridiculous.
They successfully kept this riffraff.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean,
keep
you
your
can
riff-
drive
keep
10
your
minutes
riff-
to Atlantic City and get beer and come back.
It's not
you
that
know,
important.
so-
I do enjoy. My husband and I do enjoy the BYOs. We tend to frequent those whenever possible. Again, because I'd rather spend my money wisely. I like to. A good bottle
But,
of
you
wine is
know-
expensive when you buy it at the store, but when you buy it in a restaurant, you're spending more money. Well, actually, what I was alluding to was, were there any really like super traumatic events in your life that ever stood out? But I don't know if you want to share anything that might show that weaker side,
Well-
that vulnerable side of you. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. When I was a senior in high school, I had decided to go to Rutgers University in New Brunswick. That's where I started.
That's traumatic in itself, though.
Yes.
It's a great place.
Even
It's
though
a
I
great
had
place.
transferred to Temple. And my mom thinks, you know what? Why don't we take a family trip to New York
There you go.
to get you ready for it?
To get you ready for Rutgers, we're going to go to New
Well,
York.
because
Okay.
they had a train station
to
on
think of the
campus
logic.
that was
Logic.
only $11.50 a round trip
Okay.
to go up there. And Rutgers,
They
you
wanted
know,
him to see a bum fight because he's probably going to see.
I guess he had it right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They had to pop your cherry there for the seedy
that
side
was-
of life.
So that was the start of this family tradition of going to New York every holiday season.
All right.
But I have to tell you, I haven't been there since 2011.
Uh-oh. I smell a traumatic event coming.
See, in
It was
2011,
Godzilla.
It was
actually it was
wrong
worse.
city. That wasn't New York
It
City.
was worse.
damn
I'll
it.
tell you, it was the second Saturday in December, which by itself is a very busy day.
Well, the tree is usually up by then, right? The tree comes up pretty early in December. So now you've
Yeah.
got all the tree and the skaters are skating.
Yeah, but what we didn't do was read the papers like the New York Post before we went. So we had no idea that there was this event going on called SantaCon.
Thousands and thousands of people dressed like drunk Santas.
Try and tell me it's
50,000.
real now, Dad.
Which one? Whose lap do I sit on? All of them.
So-
if you can.
There's 50,000 men dressed up as Santa Claus throughout the 5 boroughs.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
So just imagine New York City 10 times as crowded as it normally would be on a
Yeah,
regular.
you need to read. You need to
Saturday.
get your facts straight before you do something like that. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness! How old were you now?
2011, I would have been 31. So this is
You're not like a child.
no, but
The question is, did you get the lap hopper pass? So you didn't have to pay per lap. Was it
still
discount?
working on it.
Ah,
I
okay.
think they have that at Disney World, right, where you get the
Yeah.
pass for the 5 different parks.
Cut the
But,
line, get right to Santa's leg.
The one thing that I remember from that trip is that we had all taken the train from Hamilton Station.
Okay.
So by the time we get there, we need to stretch our legs. We need to use the bathroom, whatnot. So as soon as you get out of Penn Station, it's Herald Square, and there's the Macy's.
Mm-hmm.
So we go there, and we all go up to the 3rd floor. And it's so crowded that every time the elevator would come up, it would be jam-packed, and the doors would close, and it would go right down. So one thing I'll tell you about my sister Danielle.
Oh my goodness! You know what? I want to finish this story with you because I think that we have.
You're cutting me off.
I'm afraid that I have to cut you off because we have a very special guest who is on the line today. We have our singer-songwriter Andrea Benham, and before we bring her on, we're going to play a little piece of one of her songs, and I think that our listeners are really going to enjoy this moment. And then when we come back, we're going to speak with Andrea.
Bet you had it made with all the girls that you've been through. Bet you think the same when it comes to me and you. You come through like a hurricane, leave me behind, leave me in pain. You pass through like an earthquake, but you can't make me break.
Welcome back to Makeshift Happen, and Andrea, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
That song is so, I'm sitting here and I'm like trying not to bounce up and down in my chair because we're being filmed today. So I want to, keep my hair in place. So you are a real Jersey girl, my girl.
Yes, I am. Born in Princeton and raised in Hillsborough, and I went to high school at Immaculata, and then I went to Montclair State.
Very good. Very cool. And you're still, I don't want to give away if you don't want me to say where you are now, but you're still here, right? Are you in Hope?
I'm still in New Jersey.
Cool.
Yeah.
not a girl.
Yeah.
So, Andrea, of course, in preparation for your call today, I wanted to make sure I read everything there was to read about you. And there are just no words to express my admiration for what you've accomplished, really. I'm going to say, before the accident and then post accident, I don't know what I admire you the most for, to be honest with you.
Oh, thank you so much.
So let's talk about. I would like to talk. Okay,
it's been a lot of work.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm reading, and that's what I'm gathering. So I really want to give you the floor today. I don't really want to prompt you too much because I really want you to tell the story the way you want it to be told. And I just have a couple of questions for you. So let's just talk about your path, your journey. You were doing a lot of great stuff, and then something very tragic and traumatic happened to you, and now you're doing a lot of great stuff again. So let's go through that a little bit.
Okay. I started singing when I was 6 years old, and I started songwriting when I was 7. And I really enjoyed the outlet of writing. And I played clarinet when I was a kid, and a little bit of piano. And when I got to Montclair, I interned at Billboard magazine.
Wow.
And that's when I really got to meet everybody in the music industry who I really admired. And from there, I just learned how to cultivate my craft into a career. And
do you believe? I mean, I believe that there are some people, and it just sounds from just the way you're going through and at this stage, you're still probably like in your 20s or whatever. You were obviously born to be a musician. Like this is something. If you're writing songs at age 7, I don't even know what a 7-year-old song. I mean, I'm singing like "Ring Around the Rosie" at age 7. I can't even imagine writing a song or having that much emotion and passion. So this is obviously something that you were just born to do.
Yeah, I believe my mom said I have a great uncle who is a Grammy Award winner. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of developed. My cousin plays piano. My grandmother played piano by ear.
Wow.
So it's just something that I've really enjoyed, and I really love seeing the progression of every record that I put out. And it's just been such a whirlwind of emotion. I feel like I'm in a relationship with music because some days I have really good days and other days I'm like, but overall it's cultivated and it's really come together and really helped me out a lot. You were talking about the accident. Music Cares, without a doubt, helped me out because I would have been homeless if it wasn't for them.
Which is really a very sad statement. I mean, that the world is so cruel at times. Then someone comes along and helps you out. Like in one sense, right? You're just such extremes that someone could do something so awful to you, and then on the other side you have people to rescue you and help you through and get you back on your feet, and then the rest is up to you. You really came back. As I said in my post, that whole Rocky quote about not how hard you get hit, but about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. And you've been swinging and singing, since this happened, and it has to play into your music. I'm sure all of this emotion and gratitude and all of the emotions from depression probably to some extent, and maybe did you ever say, why me, is all coming out in your music?
I never really felt like why me. I always felt like this is the hand that I've been given, and if I wasn't strong enough to handle it, then I wouldn't have been given it. But I've also had a lot of help from my family. I mean, my mom and my stepdad have been through so much. I mean, driving from Princeton to Jersey City every day, just praying and hoping that this was going to be the day that it was all going to come together. So, obviously my hat's off to my family. I couldn't have done this without them. And to everybody, like my fans, like that just been patiently waiting for the next record. And that's where I released a song in December called I Got This.
Yes, it's
which
fabulous.
Is primarily that's a song about the accident. And then I just kept pushing. And prior to my accident, I wrote a song called Fences, which is about my friend John, who passed away. And so it's just really kind of like whatever I've been through is definitely written in my music.
Well, Andrea, I have Fences queued up. If you don't mind, I'd like our listeners to hear the very beginning of that song, okay?
Yeah, sure.
You listened. I bitched about my man. So close, held me when we danced. You showed up when there was no one around. Oh, you cheered me up when I was feeling down. Oh.
But so obviously, you know, this is a tribute to some of this. This person obviously was this. You know what I find interesting about your music? There's so much depth to the words, and yet the song, the tracks themselves, the music itself is really very upbeat, and it makes you really want to move. And I think that's so interesting because I never really thought of the type of music that you do in that way as inspirational in a way. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When I started going out, you would have there were tracks by like Sarah McLachlan, who she is a very deep songwriter.
Gorgeous.
And she's been through so much, and yet the remixes would really make you want to dance. And that was, that's what attracted me to dance music, is like, no matter what the lyrics are, you can still have a good time with it. Like you can mentally and physically and emotionally have a connection with the lyrics and with the story, but it still makes you want to dance.
And that's kind of your, I guess I want to say that's kind of like your MO, right? Because you have all this emotion, but you're still going forward with it, and you're putting out a message, a very positive message, actually, I think, for people that no matter what. I love what you just said before about this is the hand that you were dealt, and if you weren't strong enough to handle it, you wouldn't have had it. So instead of, you know, curling up into a ball, you've really come up and you've got lots of stuff coming on up in the future. You're writing songs all the time. I know that you mentioned in a previous article with someone that you write a lot.
Yeah, I write a lot.
That's okay though.
Yeah, I have binders for every single year that the lyrics that I've written, and all the lyrics are in alphabetical order.
Oh
so I'm really organized like that, and it's helped me out a lot.
Well, I also, too, you have been, I guess I want to ask this question in just such a way, because I don't want to take us back to the dark times, but I do want to say, do you categorize your life now as, you know, pre-accident, post-accident?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And so aside from some of the physical aspect of that, which we don't really want to, I don't want to make you go through that, what else is different about you now? Like, who are you now?
Who am I now? Well, during the day when I'm not, before I was touring a lot, before the accident. You know, I toured in Spain for 17 days. I was in Ireland. I was in England. I was always working as much as I could. Mm. But pretty much post-accident, I've started substitute teaching here in the town that I live in, and it's really great because I get to bring my dog to work with me, and the kids love it.
Yeah, really. What grades are you teaching? That's so funny that you said that.
Yeah, I sub K through 12, all of them.
Nice.
Yeah, and I love when they ask me to be the music teacher. I'm like, yes.
Gee, I think I might know a little something about music. Do you get, well, see, that's another thing too. See, and again, you've obviously got that spirit that wants to continue to give back. Not just through your music, if you're teaching. That's how I see teachers. I see teachers as people who want to give back.
Yeah, it really came to a point when my job wouldn't take me back, And I was, as you were saying before about the depression, I mean, I could easily sit home and feel sorry for myself and just, that's it, call quits. But definitely not. I mean, with the help of the Grammys and I'm part of Women in Music here in New York. And with Music Cares, I just felt like there's no way that I could sit home and feel sorry for myself. I've got to turn this around.
Hi, Andre. How are you? This is Joel Doherty.
Hi, Joel. How are you?
Good. First of all, I was also born and raised in New Jersey, so it's good to meet a fellow.
Jersey in the house.
Jerseyite, yeah. And,
Jersey.
and, one thing I'd love to ask you, and something I'm curious about you and all musicians in general is when you first get, an idea or an inspiration for a new song, how long does it take for you to come up with the lyrics to the point where you're happy and satisfied and you're saying, okay, this is ready for me to sing. This is something that I think my fans will really enjoy?
Every record varies. I would say, like my first song, Reincarnation, that song probably took me about 2 hours. Then I have a song like I Got This.
I love that song, by the way.
My producer Giuseppe D pulled me in the studio. He goes, "Let's see if the accident affected you musically." So we went in, we wrote the record, we recorded it literally in an hour and a half. It was the fastest session I've ever had.
Wow. So it helped you, sped you up a little bit, huh?
Yeah, it did. So every project is kind of different, and obviously, since I write based on my emotions and what I'm going through, it definitely varies. I mean, like the song like Overcome, I mean, that was off of like a 3-year relationship. I just had enough of it. So it depends.
So I think Taylor Swift is copying you because apparently every relationship that she has, she writes a song about. But I'm sure you're kinder.
Yeah, I'm much kinder. And oh my God, I had my one ex-boyfriend probably about a few weeks ago. He was like, "Oh, you could stay with me in Atlantic City," and I got back to his place, and I was like, he wasn't home. And he came home, and he was like, came home with his new girlfriend, and I was like, "It's people like you that make me a great songwriter."
I'm going to win a Grammy because of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Sad but true. It's a shame in a way that more people, not that we should all be music, could write music, but it sounds like such a wonderful outlet for you to be able to release these emotions and again to share them, because when someone tell me how it feels when someone comes up to you and says, "Your song, I can relate to your song," or, "Thank you for writing that song. It was like you knew me." That has to make you just explode with joy.
Yeah, it definitely makes me feel like, mission accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that I'm not the only one walking around with, like
Stuff.
happened in an accident. I'm not the only one. I'm just, I would try to relate myself to how everybody else is. And in one aspect or another, one day they're going to feel this certain way.
Right. So as you are recovering, I know it's been a couple of years now, and you're still obviously, working towards feeling more whole about yourself. What are your future plans? What have you got coming up for us? Because at some point in time, your emotions and yourself, you're going to shift yourself away from just the accident and start new lives. New relationships are going to come into your life. So you have all these things to look forward to. How do you plan on incorporating all of that? And are you going to go back out there and start singing?
Oh, yes. I was going to sing last night at the Bitter End, but I had gone down to Martell's Tiki Bar to try to set up a record release party for Fences. So maybe that will happen next 2 Mondays that we have left of summer.
Cool.
But basically, I love to sing at the Bitter End on Monday nights. That jam is run by Richie Canada, who plays sax for Billy Joel.
Wow.
And it's a really great venue and it's a great jam. I've played with Joe Jonas there. I played with John Stamos. I played with Dina Menzel. There's
Name dropper, dropping a few names. What's that crap?
Let her have some fun. Come on.
I'm just saying that you never know who's going to walk
Never.
in the door.
Where is this
which
place?
is exciting.
Where is
It's
this?
on Bleecker Street in the city.
Okay, I have to check this out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good jam.
Wow. So that's good. So that has to make you feel good, though, getting back out there and just being in front of people again. Not just to make records are great, but it's nice to be among. Isn't it nice to be among your people? The people want to see you.
Yeah, it really is. It definitely is. And the things that are coming up, let's see, we have the Grammys in 5 months.
Yeah.
They're 5 months away, and they're out of Madison Square Garden, which I'm super excited about.
Hop on a train, you're there. Or limo. I'm sorry. Excuse me. A car.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry.
No. I take the train. I take the bus. It's fine. It's funny because I'm going to drop a name.
Go ahead.
I saw Neil Diamond there about 2 months ago.
Wow.
And it was so surreal when I stepped inside the garden. I was like, oh my gosh, this might be where it might happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's just Neil Diamond. I grew up listening to his music, and I just love him. I've seen him in concert like 25 times. I'm like a closet Neil Diamond fan.
Well, it's out of the closet now because you just said it on the radio. But that's okay. Nothing to be ashamed of.
No, he's a super talented
Fabulous.
songwriter.
Yes, he is.
I've just been always amazed by him. I mean, he's 72, 73, and he's still rocking a 2-hour concert. It's just unbelievable.
I would see him. I would have no problem seeing him.
Yeah, because the songs.
Every word to every song. It's,
Sweet Caroline, right?
Well, there's a commercial.
Yeah.
There's a television commercial right now about a car commercial of people. One guy singing in his car and he's in traffic, and then the next girl starts singing part of the verse, and then before you know it, the whole traffic jam is singing Sweet Caroline. But you can't go to a party, a wedding, any place, even a restaurant. People will burst into song when that plays. It's great.
It's so true. I went to a Red Sox game. Yeah, I'm a Yankees fan, but I did go to a Red Sox game, and they play that song constantly throughout the game.
I know.
It's like in the movie Fever Pitch, they play that song.
Yeah, it just you know what? It's like you just want to get people to participate. Well, I can envision some of your songs getting to be where people are going to want to jump in and start singing along with you because it makes them feel good to say those. They're empowering. There's powerful words. There's like Gloria Gaynor, "I Will Survive." You know, when she starts belting that out, don't you want to just like jump in with her?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Well, I really can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your songwriting and the things that you're doing to be on my show today, because I just have such admiration and respect for you. And if there was like a message that you wanted to say to just people out there in general, what would you say? I know you say it through your songs, but is there any kind of like words of wisdom you'd like to leave us with today?
Yes. I would really love for people not to ever give up on their dreams, and don't give up no matter what comes into play in your life. I've really learned throughout this process about how people complain about they complain about the stupidest things.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was going through what I went through, I was like watching people complain about the dumbest things, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I would just say, like, stay positive. Everything happens for a reason, and just do not give up on yourself or the situation that you're being dealt.
Well, I think that's very sound, solid advice, and I hope our listeners are going to follow it. And I'd like to give you an opportunity to give us your contact information so that our listeners can get a copy of the songs. I know I went on Amazon to get some of your music, so let everyone know your website and how they can get it as well.
Yes. Okay. So you can reach me at AndreaBenham.com, And on Facebook, I'm Andrea Benham. And on iTunes, I'm Andrea Benham. On Twitter, I'm Andrea Benham. On Instagram, I'm Andrea.
You have any other names that you go by?
Well, thank God you don't have multiple personalities. Oh my goodness.
It's funny actually that you say that, because I right before the accident happened, I changed my Facebook to Jenny Benny.
Oh, that's cute.
I don't know why I did it. I was like, but I changed it back. It's
Yeah.
Andrea Benham.
You can't deny who you are, lady. I'm sorry.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Well, you're fabulous,
So,
and I hope.
thank you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you so much for having me on today, and I really hope that everybody has a great day and a great week, and they dance away.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you again. You are fabulous. It was wonderful to talk to you, and maybe one of these days I'll get to meet you in person. I'll come and find you so I can dance away the night with you. And we're going to dance away this little break here with Fences.
You listened, I bitch about my man. So close, held me when we danced. You showed up when there was no one around. Oh, you cheered me up when I was feeling down. Oh.
Welcome back to Makeshift Habit. That was just a little tease of Fences, because I would like everyone who's listening to tell their friends and for them to go and get a copy of this. There's all different remixes. When I went on to pick up the song, there's all these different remixes. The words are the same, but it's kind of like how you like to hear it put together. But she's just amazing. She really is, and she's right. We bitch and complain about the little things in life, and she had a perspective shift of massive proportion. And listen to her. So now you're going to bitch and complain about your trip to SantaCon? Is that what you're going to do, Joel? Seriously,
No,
huh?
well, I wanted to tell you something that you mentioned Taylor Swift during the
I
interview.
did. Who?
and
Yes.
I have some news for you.
I know what you're going to say. She
Well-
put underwear on.
Well, that too, but speaking about the lawsuit against the DJ, she won.
She did win. She won that $1. Yep.
Oh, you stole
Thank
my
God.
point, because I was going to say she won a whole $1.
Well, this was very symbolic, and I have to give her props on that, because this is not really about the money for her. She does not need the money.
She
This-
won a dollar?
She sued him. She countersued him for $1 because you have to have a monetary.
Get
He
out.
sued her for $3 million.
Damn.
And the $1 is really just because,
Symbolic, yeah.
right? Symbolic, because there are women all over the world getting groped by men in positions that they think they can, and she's done. She's speaking out. Good for her.
Well, to me, it was like saying, you know what? I just wanted to win this lawsuit. I don't need the money. I just wanted to show you that I can win.
I don't know if you heard her testimony, because they
It was
played.
awesome.
It was. She went for the jugular.
It was friggin' amazing.
Yeah, everybody's calling it behind and her rear, and she's like, he groped my bare ass, and she had no problem saying it in court, and she was like, she made her point.
The best is when they asked, "Are you sure it was him?" And he's just like, "Are you friggin'
Not a random
serious?"
fan.
Yeah, really. How many people on a regular basis?
There's
Yeah.
3 people in the picture.
Yeah, his
her
hand-
being one of them,
Yeah.
him being one of the other ones. It's like he's just like, yeah, it was definitely him, and she went off a little bit.
Yeah, she should have grabbed. You know what? I think when you're in the right, or even if you're not technically in the right, but you feel that you're in the right, when you do anything with passion, like, well, listen to our guest. Everything's about passion and how much you put into something when you really have a strong belief. Now, do you still want to tell the story about SantaCon, Joel?
Okay, well,
Because we're
you
just
know,
gonna.
Well, it's good therapy for me.
All right,
So,
I'll put my life coach hat on for about 2 seconds. I think that he's got he's
So-
got a Santa issue.
I think I
Marcus.
left off talking about my sister because, she has no fear. She'll go to Atlantic City with her friends on the hottest day of the summer. So
That's not.
we're up in, the 3rd floor of Macy's, and I see this exit sign, and I'm thinking, you know what? That might be the quickest way out.
And that's exactly what exit means.
Yeah.
Out.
But
Oh my
I didn't
goodness.
see that it was also the fire exit.
Oh, well, that's a whole other issue. Did you ring the bell?
No, but my sister charges through, and she just pushes the door right open, setting the fire alarm off.
There you go. Well, she's I think I like his
yeah.
sister. I'd like
Yeah.
Let's get his sister on the show.
Yeah,
I want to meet. I want to meet this
She's
girl.
listening
She
right
can run
now.
around,
I want
pulling
to
all the
meet.
fire alarms.
I want to
That'd be
meet this
awesome.
girl. Yeah, I want to meet
Yeah,
this
you
girl.
just want to find out the truth about it.
But
because
once
first-
again, I
yeah,
feel like
first
I need
Shanna
to
comes
verify.
on,
I feel
and
like
now
I
you want
need.
my sister to
I feel
come
like I
on.
need to verify some facts here.
Well,
That's all.
But the funny thing was, Fran, it's New York and anything goes.
Yes.
And there was maybe a 10-second moment when people looked up, noticed that the fire alarm went off, and they just went back to shopping.
Yeah, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, it's New York. What
I
the
don't
hell?
smell smoke. Do you smell smoke? I
No.
don't smell smoke. No.
So my dad's thinking, you know what, guys, we should probably get the hell out of here before they realize what we just
Nah,
did.
they don't care.
So, we finally discovered that the escalator was a little less crowded than the elevator.
Just bowl over a few Santas.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I think that's the sound of Santa sliding down the escalator.
Oh, man, it's like,
Joel.
it reminds me of, Seinfeld when Kramer was, kind of afraid of clowns. Now I don't know if I would
Are
ever...
you really? Are you seriously telling me that you have a Santa thing?
No, I'm just saying I don't know that I would ever get back on Santa's lap ever again after an experience like this.
Well, you're only supposed to get on one lap. You're not supposed to get on all 50,000
No,
Santa
I mean, I
laps.
could have. But the funny thing was, going through New York, walking around with my parents, everything's taking 10 times as long as it normally does.
Why is
And-
that, Joel? What are you trying to say about your parents? You trying to say something about your parents, Joel?
I'm trying to say that they relied on me for everything. My mom's saying, how do we get to Planet Hollywood? How do we get to Times Square? And I'm thinking, Mom, you're the one that introduced me to New York. You're the one that knows the city. Why are you asking me all these questions?
Is she red-green colorblind and all the Santas were messing her up?
She just-
No.
I think she had a problem.
No, but, one moment that really sticks out in my mind is that I'm kind of getting sick of my sister and my parents at this point.
Oh,
And
Joel's
in
pissed.
a good way,
He's
in a good
pissed.
way.
All I
But
want for Christmas is a new family.
yeah, right.
I think there's a
Yeah.
movie about
it's like,
that.
It's like
That's a
Home
good-
Alone,
yeah,
right? When
really.
he wishes for the new family.
There you
But-
go.
So I'm taking this leisurely stroll through Times Square, and they're about 20 feet ahead of me. And I just stopped, and I looked up to the heavens, and I said, God, and, I as loud as I could.
He's praying in the middle of
no. Out loud, I said, get me the hell out of this city.
God,
And-
make me a bird so I can fly far
Yes,
away.
like in Forrest Gump. on
Yes,
Genesis.
exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
So, being New
I
York,
understand.
everyone around me had two different reactions. There are some people that looked at me like I was crazy.
They probably threw money at you, thinking you were like
Yeah.
an evangelist
Thinking
of some
like I had a
kind.
mental
yeah, like
disorder.
you. Well, that's
Yeah. But
Oh,
then
so
there was another.
This was pre-Bluetooth.
Well, this was
when you
2011,
when you
yeah.
screamed in New York, people thought you were crazy. Now
Yeah,
you
I
scream
didn't
right
have
now.
a
They think you're
smartphone.
talking
It's
on
on
the
a
phone.
phone
Right?
call.
It's
Yeah.
true. You're very right. That's true. I
But
didn't
another
know that.
group of people stopped and said, it was like they were feeling, thank God someone said this, because they thought, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Right on, I'm with you.
The crowd was with you. They were all
you know.
there.
So what I learned was
Never to go to New York on during SantaCon with your parents and your sister.
that, but when you're going to New York, it's helpful to, spend a few days preparing first, maybe watching the news, looking in the New York Post and saying, well, what is going on
or
this
going
Saturday?
online to Google and saying,
Yeah.
Google, tell me what's going on.
And maybe the next time we should go like on a Tuesday afternoon.
Well,
you
guess
know.
what? Christmas is going to be coming again soon, so you might want to start prepping now for that. Hey, I have something we should be prepping for. This is a big deal. We are going to have a total eclipse of the sun. Do we have that song? By the way? I can't help it.
I don't.
I burst into song every time. We are having a total eclipse of the sun next Monday. And
Now, do you have your sunglasses already?
well, wait, I have to tell you this. This
Okay.
is seriously no joke. Yeah, you have to get special glasses for this. And Amazon, there were apparently so many people who were the shady people, haha, pun intended, putting out, they're selling these glasses that aren't really certified glasses that Amazon was like refunding people. You have to get the right glass. This kind of stuff scares the shit out of me. Like, suppose I'm walking down the street and I accidentally look up. Like, am I going to go blind? Like,
Well,
you have
I
to be
think-
really careful. You're not supposed to use your phone. You're not supposed to put your flash on your camera. You have to put filters on everything. Or if you have your phone and you want to take a picture, you have to put those glasses in front of the camera, or it could burn through your phone. This is crazy.
Well, Fran, speaking of your desire to visit Philly, the Franklin Institute next Monday is having a special event where you can go there
And watch the eclipse.
and watch the eclipse there, and they'll give you everything you need, sunglasses.
Really?
Yeah, so maybe it's a good day for you to finally get this.
Me and
desire out of your
50,000
system.
other people maybe who want to go see.
Stinks, though. I was going to spray paint some reading glasses and sell them to people.
No, you're
So I
such
think
a-
it's supposed to hit around
Stop trying to
2:30, right? That's
scam
when everything
well,
will go dark.
It's going to be in different parts of the country. The best thing I would suggest is to go online and read about it, because they talk about where it starts. There's one place, I forget now where it is, that has it for a whole 2 minutes, but it goes very, very quickly. And there's things that we're going to be able to see that this is. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but everybody's making a really big deal. But I have to tell you, I'm like a nervous wreck that I'm accidentally going to look up. I'm going to walk around with a hat on and go blind.
But you know what, Fran? I remember, if you remember 1999, everybody thought,
I don't know. That's an awful
Y2K,
long
the
time
world
ago.
is going to end.
No, but this is no.
And then we survived. The next day, the
What was
world
it?
was here.
And
so,
all that toilet paper that's been
yes.
piling up in basements
So-
forever. is
So
still-
next Tuesday, this show will go on.
Oh no, the
So-
show will go on.
Yeah.
I just want to make
We will
sure
be
that
here.
everyone is very careful about the glasses. I actually have a list. You can go on to
Okay.
the American Astronomical Society, and you can get a list of the kind of glasses that you are allowed to get. And I'm serious. If people are really serious about looking at this or watching it, because it is an event, it only happens. It doesn't happen that often. If you want
Once
to
in
see
a
it.
lifetime, yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's one. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't get that technical. I give the facts, but not like all of them,
Yeah.
because I want people to, I want to keep them on the line. I don't want to be like,
Well, you know what I love to do too is I've seen people post about being in Alaska and seeing the northern lights.
yeah, that's
and
gotta
that
be
only
stunning.
happens once
Yeah.
in a while.
That's
And,
got to be gorgeous.
it seems like just an amazing sight to witness, but it's all about timing because
Yes.
you never know when it's going to strike. And I've seen people that are on planes and they can see it from the window, and they're just saying how breathtaking it is.
It's like SantaCon. It's all about timing.
It's all about.
Yeah, I think you guys are a little obsessed with this SantaCon. I think you're going to look it up and go.
Because I think if the story was, that you were like 11 or 12, I would have more empathy for
Yeah.
you. But you were like a man already. This is
But,
crazy.
it was just.
I'm sorry.
Fran, you couldn't move. I mean,
I'm sorry, Joel.
not everybody in New York
I'm
takes
sorry.
a shower.
I'm
so
sorry,
you're,
Joel. There's just not a lot of sympathy coming from me.
If it doesn't coincide with BronyCon, My Little Pony Con, I'm probably going to go to SantaCon this
Oh,
year.
yeah. And there's also Comic Con. Now, are you afraid of that too? Are you afraid of the
No, in
characters
fact,
dressed
that
up
would be a
like
good road trip to go out to California, do the show from there, and maybe go to SantaCon.
SantaCon in California?
Yeah, don't they have it in San Diego? Right?
I don't know.
Comic-Con?
Santa in shorts. He's probably in
Comic-Con?
I don't
Bermuda
really
shorts.
see. You know what?
I'm
I don't
talking
see.
about Comic-Con.
I don't see.
Oh,
Comic Con. I thought
Yeah.
Comic Con was in New York.
I think
I've
it's
had
in
friends that-
multiple cities.
They have
San
all over. They go
Diego,
all over the
LA,
place.
New York. It's everywhere.
Well,
now.
let's go to the most expensive furthest one.
Okay.
Because that's what I do. Why would I? I'm not big into that stuff, so I don't think it would be lost on me. Though I am a people watcher, and I get such a kick out of the enthusiasm that people have for things that I think are, ridiculous. But
Yeah, let's call it enthusiasm.
well, I can call it.
Let's go with that.
You like that? I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're getting close to that time of the show where I have to do my little housekeeping. So,
Okay.
just like Andrea is Andrea Benham everywhere, we are Makeshift Happen Show everywhere on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. We have a Gmail account, makeshifthappenShow@gmail.com. Why wouldn't we, right? And I also would like to give a shout out to Lisa. Lisa A., darling out there in
Lisa!
Florida. Lisa's in the house. Florida's in the house.
Well, we're here in this
She's
cold, damp
working.
day,
No,
right?
she's working. I know Florida is shifting. Don't you feel the shift? They're all listening.
Yeah,
The entire
yeah,
state
Fran,
of Florida is listening to the show. So if you would like to participate in the show and tell us about your SantaCon issues and
I
your
never should have brought that up.
issues, you're welcome to come on the show. Get a hold of
SantaCon.
get a hold of Lisa.
Well, it's good promotion for the next event in December, right? They should be
hold it.
paying me for all this exposure.
Yeah, really. Give Lisa a call at Amboy Duke Media at 908-902-6868. And, we try to be very upbeat and sometimes kind of silly. Hopefully this is an hour that people really enjoy, just kind of not thinking about anything. But I just can't, even Jimmy Fallon couldn't ignore what happened in Charlottesville, which, by the way, I was supposed to be there. Randy and I were supposed to go that particular week. And we weren't going to the rally. We were just going to go check out Charlottesville. So I kind of feel very blessed that something made me say, hey, listen, I don't think we should go this week. But I just have to say, and the hate has to stop. It just has to stop. I don't care from what direction it comes in. I'm not going to get into any of those things, but life is hard. We heard Andrea's story. We heard part of it. We know that she was in a terrible accident. Her whole life was turned upside down and changed, but she had the help of people. People should be helping each other. It's hard enough to do things on your own and have problems, but when we turn against each other, all we do is make things worse. And it just doesn't really accomplish anything. People are dead, and it's very, very, very sad. So please, all I can say to you is come back and have fun with us once a week. And in between that time, I want you to go and do wonderful things for people. Stop hating and stop the hate and do whatever you can to just, be happy and spread the love.
And I think, Fran, we all want to send our condolences to the family of Heather Heyer, the paralegal who, was hit and struck by the car.
And there are two state troopers who perished in a helicopter accident.
Yes. It went down and burst into flames.
Which is just awful. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like you to go out there and make shift happen.
Thanks for listening, Shifters. Join us again next Tuesday at 11 a.m. as we spotlight the latest in exclusive restaurants, shopping, fashion, nightlife and entertainment, and the people who make shift happen.
Second best for the hustlers, gangsters, bad bitches in